Ever since the Instagram algorithm changed for the better, it seems like people are having issues reaching anyone at all. In fact, about 50% of my clients report a slight decrease in views, and some creators actually have had to reach slash like crazy. So you're not alone, first of all. But, and that's where it gets important, for some people, for a handful of people, reach is absolutely up. In fact, even some of my members of my coaching team, for example, from the creator mentorship, who've had their reach drop like crazy, reaches up again. One of them, for example, greetings to Jing. She just texted me that she had a breakout video of almost 700,000 views. And before, her reach was just down, really down, as for most people. There's other creators we work with, as well as people here in the comments who say that reach is way up more. So what is it really? I took a look, and it seems like all these creators are usually following a process more or less that makes them get out of this algorithm mess. Getting back, first of all, the attention of the algorithm. And even if you've never had a lot of reach to begin with, in this video, I'll show you this very process, and I'll show you a checklist, an X-step checklist. That's what it says in my script. I didn't count, but this checklist will help you get more views than you've ever had before. So first of all, in my 7 years of basically studying social media algorithms daily, yeah, it's kind of sad if you think about it, I have seen similar things happen at least 5 times, meaning algorithm breakdowns where everybody was just losing their minds. And usually it was during these times when actual long-lasting creators that made this whole content creation thing their full-time career were born, simply because they did not give up. And they followed this process. Now, what I believe is happening, just really quickly, multiple things based on my data that I'm basically tracking daily. First of all, the algorithm update to the one that we talked about, that's technically for the better, that's technically here to show your content to non-followers. Yeah, seems like it's taking longer than expected to roll out fully. Some things are never running smoothly with these things. Now, most of my creator mentorship clients, though, also report their analytics taken away from them, over the past 3 weeks or something like that. Meaning their retention curves are gone, even the ones who had them before. Basically, almost everybody has their retention curves gone, and some don't even have the average watch time stats anymore. So there's got to be something going on in the background. There's some leaks going around. For example, some creators now have the ability to publicly display their stats for potential brand partners to see. Basically, you go to the profile. Now, maybe that has to do with it as well. We'll see, most likely. By the way, what do you think about that? Would you be happy showing your stats to all of the world? Let me know in the comments. I actually think it's good. But yeah, with that being said, part one of getting out of this mess is actually do not post less, right? Don't put less effort in your content. That's what I usually call the downward spiral of doom. I've seen it times again and again. Creators die because there's some algorithm drop that's totally out of their control. Reach is dropping. They base their self-worth and vanity metrics. Suddenly they are used to getting 50K views. Suddenly they get 5K views for a period of time. And then they're like, nah, I'm not gonna, it's not worth it anymore. Short-term thinking, very bad. A lot of them, they post way less, just because of that. And a lot of them also put way less effort in the content to wait until the algorithm regroups. But that's actually the exact opposite of what you want to do, because even if the reach is down, the algorithm is always tracking your content. And if it notices, well, it's worse than before, afterwards you'll get even worse metrics and less reach. So yeah, it's okay, of course, to still have periods where you post a bit less. I'm not saying that, but always think of the whole, keeping a consistent quality, and always please think of the long term, right? This is just a period that's gonna get over at some point. And actually, it's not just because of this one algorithm change that's happening. I've been tracking a few things. For example, things are low because, first of all, it's summer. Historically, people spent way less time during summer on social media, especially during the first few summer weeks and months, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You're just gonna have to deal with it, or also go outside and do some stuff. Just post a little bit less if you want. Like I said, don't post way less. Now, second of all, a lot of elections right now are happening. Now, just recently, the whole European election. Soon there'll be another major one in the US. And usually if more or less global things are happening, algorithms tend to notice that as well and tend to focus more on these things just because everybody's talking about it. Everybody's sharing things about that. The other thing, so a third thing actually being the soccer or football championship that's happening right now in Europe, right? These things, all the things coming together, and there's only so much attention that Instagram has or people have. And algorithms follow what most people are into. So usually they stay within this part of attention thing. Now, the second important thing is, in order to get out of this whole thing, we need momentum, and we need to handle and show the algorithm that it actually create worthy content of being shown, even if the attention is shifted somewhere else right now. And for that, we're actually going to take the exact same principle we just talked about and apply it to our own content and strategy. So here's what to do. If we want to blow up basically right now, we want to replicate and create content that's already being pushed out by the algorithms right now, or content that's actually very closely related to that. Hint, for example, soccer thing, football, your championship. Maybe there's something you can sort of take into your own content just to kind of hijack this type of content. And even if not, I'll show you exactly how to do that in a second. Because then if you do that, the attention is not being taken away from something that's already being pushed out. It's just shifted towards you. And you probably have noticed it yourself. You see a video, let's say, of a raccoon stealing food with his tiny hands, and 2 minutes later, you get a similar video. Same principle. By the way, that's also the same thing why there's usually Burger King next to a McDonald's if you drive somewhere. Fun fact, this is all intentional. We're not going to talk about this right now, but it's the same thing. So how can we do that? How can we wrap this whole thing around our own strategy? First of all, we need to activate basically the algorithm. And the first thing you want to do is take your phone and go to your analytics, Instagram analytics, by the way, TikTok as well, but whatever, and find content from the past 90 to maybe even 180 days that got the most reach. That's the most important thing. Try to find that. Also try to find the content that got you the most comments, just to kind of see a difference. But let's just, list it out and see what's going on in there. If it's all similar to each other, well, whatever. Maybe you see some small outliers, but if you spot any major outliers, right? Some major thing, jackpot. If you find anything like that, try to recreate similar ones using very similar hooks, similar topics. You get the idea. Basically recreate and put a different spin on your already existing content. That's part number one. You have to do that, because by doing that, we help sort of regain the algorithm's trust, and we sort of help the algorithm with its prediction, saying, well, this content's already performed. Here's another thing. So it will be easier for you, algorithm, right now, because you already have experience with this creator and with similar content. Now, part two, the second important thing is here, it's essentially the same thing. We just need to zoom out at least one layer. So what we want to do is, like I just said, we want to find things, content topics that are sort of trending, right? I'm not talking about trending audio stuff like this. Can help, but we're not going to focus on that right now. But ideally, some topics that are trending right now in our niche, but also some outside of our niche, because that's actually when it gets really fun and when it really has the potential to blow up big time. And then we do the exact same thing, and I'll show you exactly how to do that with some tools in a second. So in theory, you scroll through your feed, you find a reel, and basically take the hook, the same hook, the length, and the whole video concept, and wrap it around your own niche. If you found something in your own niche, just even better, put your own small spin on it. Don't try to change a lot. I know. Read the book, Steal Like an Artist, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Obviously, you don't want to copy it one by one, but that's the one thing. Again, usually you'll find a ton of these things by just swiping through your feed, but you can obviously also use my own tool that I've been actually using internally for a while, the Viral Hooks database. Now, I have to say, it is a paid tool, right? But I'm not making any profit if you're thinking about that. It's paid because I need to pay the servers and I need to pay the people who are actually helping me gather all that data. Because it's actually not AI, like the buzzword right now. It's actually real I, aka people. People with a brain. Now, actually, let me show you how to best do exactly what I just told you in a practical example using the Viral Hooks database. By the way, should we do a coupon code for you to try it out? We'll see. So we're here in this Viral Hooks database. It is basically content that's being pushed out more than average, aka outlier videos right now. And usually I saw somebody ask that in the Creator Club, how long should we take a look into, how long can you kind of replicate that? You can go down. Here's always the posting date when this video was posted. And whenever we put it in the database is when it got pushed out. So you can see there's always a delay. But you can use these principles, you know, for months at an end, right? Generally speaking. Now, let's just randomly just go down there. We have an outlier of outliers even here. 42 million views, which is just crazy. What do you think? That's a lot. Let's just take a look at the video, what it is. Okay, we're not going to play the audio. Okay, so it's basically a stop motion video with 42 million views. And she is, let me just, my guess is she's a cleaning influencer or something like that. Yeah, something like, yeah, cleaning. Yeah, cool. Actually, very interesting niche. But one example or element that you can use right here is the whole stop motion approach. If you're a DIY creator or creating something with your hands or whatever it is, just think about that. You know, that's usually the way to unlock real good content ideas. To just think about how can you apply this whole stop motion thing and make it kind of nice and create your own version and wrap it around your own niche. Now, let's take a look at another example just because. Which one we're going to take here? Just random one. 4 million views here. What not to say to your pregnant wife. 10 seconds long. Loving memory. Okay, by the way, 0 hashtags, 4 million views. Just putting that out there. Okay, so what we can take away from this is basically any niche could steal from this idea. So it's first of all a skit and the hook being what not to say to X. You know, and X being something people in your niche relate to. You know, whatever that is. Ideally, it's something everybody knows, somebody and everybody knows, or something everybody knows not to say, right? But everybody wants to say it. That's all, you know, these are all the elements. Just make a quick 10-second video, set it up, and then have maybe some plot twist at the end or something funny at the end. That's it. You don't have to leave it as long, but we're not going to get into the details right here. But I hope you understand what I'm trying to get at here. This is essentially all you need to do. And just doing this for weeks, you'll see what will happen. By the way, for this whole database, shall we do a coupon? Actually, let's do a coupon. Let's do 50% off for the first month if you want to try out this tool. A month should totally be enough to get you out of this low. And essentially, that's all you need to do. Exactly what I just told you, you know, for a week, for a month, actually. So if you want to take me up on this offer, on the checkout, just use the code REACHDROP and you'll get 50% off for the first month. Now, these two things, you know, the first thing with your own content and the second thing that I just showed you are the main pillars, basically, you need to focus on right now. Because we slowly kind of need to handle our way up in the algorithm and kind of take, because you'll see once reach will go up, you'll kind of take that momentum with you, which is really good. Now, I hate to tell you this right now, but this whole thing we just talked about is most likely only one reason your reach is slow and, you know, why you don't get recommended. There's actually another big list of behaviors and settings you're probably not even aware of that keep your Instagram reach down low as well. And in this video, right there, I break down the most common issues. Ideally, you combine this video right here with what I said in this video right there, and then you see the magic happen.